Welcome to Mrs. Pete's Thrifty Living. I'm so happy you're here today. Today is hashtag Marvelous Monday. That's what I call it. I hope you are having a good day, and this is the beginning of a new week, a new clean slate for all of us. Well, depending on what kind, most time you think of Monday as the beginning of the week, and beginning of the work week, or beginning of, okay, I'm going to do this or that on this certain day. I have another president today. It's the 29th president. But I wanted to show you a couple of things and mention a couple of things before I begin that. Can you see this? This was in our paper the other day. It's one of the little papers. It's not the main paper. This is a free paper. Life's a peach. And if that's not enough, and the same one was life is just peachy. Well, it can be for everybody, not just for me. I have been fortunate enough to get that beautiful name. Married my wonderful husband. By the way, it's getting close to the time that he went to be with Jesus 2 years ago. One other thing I want to mention, it pays to clean out once in a while because you find things you think you lost. And that's what I did. Actually, I even asked my son, I said, did I give that to you? I can't find it. There it is. I found this at a thrift store one time also. Me and my thrift stores. This you can actually play. The notes are really funny, and they're all numbered here. Right here, that's middle C. And then D is here, and then E is here. And then F, and then G, and then A and B, and then C and D and B. It's kind of different. But if you do like Mary Had a Little Lamb, okay, that's the first part of Mary Had a Little Lamb. I don't know that anybody goes to my shorts, but I just decided one day to sit down and show the piano just in just a few little notes, and I played Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I think different ones, little simple, just little 4 or 5 note, and that's been fun. It's interesting to see who watches. And today we are talking about Warren G. Harding, right here. This is our 29th president. Warren G. Harding, his middle name, see it. I think you would call that Gamaliel, Gamaliel. That's where the G is. Warren G. Harding had many jobs before he became president, teacher, insurance salesman, reporter, newspaper owner, and senator. As president, he got some important things done. He shortened the work week. He shortened the weekday from 12 hours to 8 hours for most Americans. He lowered taxes. He spoke up for African Americans, and he helped rebuild World War I, and he helped American soldiers returning from the war to get jobs and medical care. Harding is also known for his dishonest friends who did many dishonest things in the White House while he was president. People found out about some of them only after President Harding died suddenly in the middle of his term. So he was the 29th president. He was born November 2nd, 1865 in Ohio, and he served from 1921 to 1923. Calvin Coolidge was his vice president, and he died in 1923. Okay, and it said right here, this little picture right here, Did you know Harding was the first president to speak on the radio? And then it also said right here, did you know Harding was the first president to visit Alaska? That sounded very much like some of the others I read, and that's why I kept getting confused. I thought, wait, did I read this one before? Okay, as I showed you before, here's this picture here. And let me glance at this. Might have put my glasses on here. My glasses won't glare, but I'm going to look at this a little bit and read a little bit of it. It said, when he became president, the first thing he did was unlock the White House gates that had been barred during the Great War. It had been carried to office on the wings of a rose-colored slogan, "Back to normalcy," a notion all too seductive for the country. Remember, they had been in war. He had been raised in a small town, Ohio, and he was a strong-jawed. Harding took hold of a failing newspaper and made it a go. His wife, who would play a significant role in his success, helped with the business and freeing him to attend country meetings where he showed a talent for oratory. And he endorsed Prohibition Amendment, though hypocritically, he would later serve bootleg booze to his poker pals within the sanctuary of the White House. He was nominated for presidency thanks to a stalemate between two other Republican hopefuls. He went on to win the election. At this very bottom part, I'll read this. The strain of travel exacerbated by a bout of influenza, he died of an embolism in San Francisco, August 2nd, 1923. His wife hastily returned to the White House and burned every scrap of his official correspondence. Thus, it can be fairly said that Harding's papers finally met their match. Oh, that's interesting. Finally met their match. Now I'm going to show you. Remember my friend Carol Crinkle Path sent me this book also. There's a picture of his wife. Let's see if I can see anything about it. She was born in Ohio in 1860. Two husbands, Henry DeWolf and then Warren, the president, Warren G. Harding. They had one boy, and she was Conservatory of Music, and she was 61 at the age of the inauguration. Cause of death, kidney disease. Okay, let's see what it says about her. Florence Klein's father was the richest man in a small town in Merriam, Ohio. While Florence was born, she grew up to be fun-loving, independent young woman. She was gaudy, and she was plain, and a bit reckless. She eloped with her first husband, Henry DeWolf, in 1880, but the marriage didn't last long. Okay, that tells about it. Florence returned to Merriam with her 2-year-old son. Too proud to live with her parents again, she supported herself by giving piano lessons. This is pretty interesting. Florence married Warren Harding, editor of the local newspaper, in 1891. Her father was so upset that he boycotted the wedding and didn't speak to Florence for 7 years. Wow. But Florence, who had her father's strong will and determination, did as she pleased. Throughout their marriage, Florence stayed as close to her husband as possible. Yet, he managed to carry on 2 prolonged love affairs, one with Carrie Phillips and another with Nan Britton, by whom he had a daughter. Wow. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see. Warren Harding's political career culminated in his election in a presidency in 1921. Although he became one of the nation's most popular presidents, opinions about the First Lady were mixed. Some members of the Washington Society found Florence as crude and domineering. Her brassiness may have seemed inappropriate, but the White House with Florence as hostess was more accessible to the public than ever had been in years. She even introduced herself to visitors visiting the White House. Along with the usual White House parties and receptions, there was poker games upstairs where Florence served liquor despite the prohibition. She regularly visited war veterans in the hospital, and when she gave a veterans garden party on the White House lawn, she insisted on wearing her everyday hat so the veterans could recognize her easily. Hardings were both in poor health throughout their stay in the White House. They took extended vacations to the West Coast in the summer of 1923. The First Lady returned to the White House a widow, the president having died of a heart attack while they were in California. Florence returned to Merriam to live quietly, but died just a year later. That was pretty interesting. There she is. I hope you enjoyed that. I am finding out a lot that I did not know. And I thank you, my friend Laura, that gave me this one, and Dollar Tree that gave me this one, and my friend Carol that gave me the big book, The Wives of the Presidents. Come back tomorrow for hashtag Tea Tuesday. We'll have something. I may have another one of these this week. I'm not quite sure. I have some things in mind what I'm doing this week, but not everything. If you ever have a request for something that you would like me to talk about or do, if I can, I'd like to do it. And most of all, I pray God blesses you today. Remember, Jesus loves you. I know I say it a lot, and I truly mean it. And I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. God bless you. Like, subscribe, comment, and share if you would. Bye-bye.